Yo, yo, yo. Yo, yo, ma. Shit, I need some water. Stuck inside. Yep, lots of rain. And we had planned to go down to Tree Town, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen because it's been pouring rain. No, it's not. No, it is not. Yeah, I know Tree Town is outside. It was pouring rain, so that's why we didn't go. And we were thinking about, hitting some little places there on Soy Buakau. But it was raining too hard. I mean, it was pouring rain. It's still raining a little bit now, but, the curfew makes everything really difficult. I'm really bummed out, to be honest, because, let me get out of this light, man. Let's see here. Here we go. That's a little better. Yeah, just a little better. Yeah, I'm bummed out. I went down to Jomtien with Mr. Roberts, guy here in Pattaya. And then, we watched the UFC, actually. And then he and I went and took a little drive around Jomtien. Went and, shot the shit for a little while, looked around. Lots of people down at Jomtien, lots of Thais. The roads are full of cars, but lots of places still shut down. Then I came back here, took a little breather, and went and had my little, what do you call it, pedicure. Had my pedicure, and then I met up with Scott. We were going to have dinner. We were waiting a couple people. We were going to see what was up, and it just turned out that we went to this Italian joint down the street. Very good food. Happy Sunday, happy Sunday. We went to this Italian joint. We had some food. We're just about, ready to leave, and it starts pouring rain. And I mean, the winds were 11 miles an hour, I looked, and the rain was so heavy. I haven't seen it that heavy in a long, long time. So we were like, all right, we're stuck here. And so then, the girl was like, oh, let me give you some, she gave us a Jello shot. We both had a Jello shot. We sat there for, 30 minutes, 45 minutes waiting for the rain to stop. Then we get over here, and this is about 20 minutes ago, almost 9:30. And this song towel comes by, and we tell him, to take us to Tree Town, which is not far away. He goes, 200 baht. I go, nah, sorry, bye, 200 baht. Get real, man. And so then, we were standing around here for a while, and it starts raining again, and we're like, Sometimes you don't need to force it, you know? So, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow. I don't know if we're going back, if we're going to Koh Lan, if we're just going to hang out here for a little while. I don't really know. Finally get a haircut on Monday. Our state moves to phase 2. Thanks, CCP. Yeah, you know, thank the CCP. I got to tell you, when I went and got my feet done, you know, they just do the pedicure, and then they scrub the bottom of your feet so that the dry skin goes off, and they put lotion on it, massage your feet and stuff. And, you know, it's very reasonable. It costs like $12. And I was talking to the girl, and I said, how many customers do you usually have here every day during busy time? And she said, we have at least 10 to 12, and they all do different things. You know, they're doing a multitude of things. Maybe they get a manicure and a pedicure and a facial, and maybe somebody else gets just a manicure and that kind of thing. And I said, how many do you get now? And she goes, you're my first customer. And as soon as she was finished with me and I walked away, she locked the place up. That was it. She was closed. So she had one customer all day, cost me 400 baht, and I gave her a 100 baht tip. And I was like, man, this is rough for these people. This is rough. Same with the moto driver this morning. The moto driver told me I'm lucky to have 1 or 2 customers. And so I'm telling you, and you know, I thought I had put it in frame, but it wasn't in frame this morning when I streamed. It was 100 baht for the trip from over by the pier. I go, yeah, okay, no problem. I just want to get back. So he dropped me off at Soy 6, and I gave him an extra 100. And man, he was jumping up and down for joy, you know. And just like the lady, you know, she was so appreciative of it, because this place it's dead, man. I mean, you want a beer? There are places to go, but you need to know where to go, and it's not like you can just go across the street or go over here or go over there. That's not how it is. And so somebody wrote me earlier today and said, what did they say? They said, oh, it's very good. Pattaya will be back to normal in a few weeks. And I said, you're dreaming. You're dreaming, buddy. Between the border and the fact that a lot of places are going out of business, supposedly 100 hotels went into foreclosure today in Koh Samui. A 100 hotels. And, you know, they are not saying we're going to let people in and, hey, just come on in. That's not how it is. They quarantine you, you got to pay, and then they may quarantine an area, and you're going to have a certificate and insurance and all this other stuff. And I don't think, they're not trying to keep the foreigners out. I think they're genuinely worried about people coming from countries that have a high number of infections. And they're going to come in here and bring it, and there's going to be a second wave, and then it's going to be even worse. So, you know, it's that, what's that saying that they say? Fool me once, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, or something like that. And so I think they want to avoid that. They don't want to open up too quick. They don't care what anybody's saying. They don't want to open up too quick, because if they open up too quickly, and there's a resurgence, the economy is going to go it's going to take an even bigger dump. So, anyway, I'm not going to stream very long or anything today, but I don't have all that much to say. And I've been streaming a lot. And I may stream in the morning, early in the morning, which is what, 6 a.m.? Sorry, 6, 7 a.m. Yeah, the fights were pretty good. They were all right. They weren't fantastic. They were okay, but, you know, enjoyable, yeah. But I may stream at 6 or 7 in the morning here, because there's a chance we'll leave at noon and go back, and there's also a chance that It's too expensive to go to Koh Chang. I mean, I'd rather go to Koh Chang by a mini bus with the family or a regular bus because I don't want to go. I don't want to go and spend money to go to Koh Chang to do the same thing I'm doing here, which is basically chilling, looking at the beach, and walking around. Then I thought about going to Koh Lan, but if it's really rainy, I don't want to go there. So actually, Scott and I were talking about, hey, maybe we'll come back in a month or 2, 3 weeks, something like that. We'll come back. So maybe that's on the agenda. I got a lot of things I'd like to do. I just have to see how things pan out here. Pattaya is so easy to get to for you. Yeah, I mean, the thing is I don't particularly like this place all that much, and I'm reminded, I feel for the people and the people who are working and I'm dealing with, I feel how distraught they are and upset they are by this. The poor girl that was doing my feet, she was so upset. And I wanted to give her more money. I just didn't have any on me. I didn't have any. I had like an extra 20 baht. And I was like, oh, man, that sucks. But, she was really bummed out. And she said, I used to work at MK Suki for 12 years. And she said, then I came here. I've been here 5 years. She said, I came here and I thought, oh, maybe, I'll work in a massage. I'll make some money. Or, then she does nails and massage and all that other kind of stuff. She said, maybe I'll make some money and maybe I'll get lucky. And, she's a little older, like 40 or something. She goes, maybe I'll get lucky and meet a foreigner. She goes, now I don't have money and I don't have a foreigner. Poor lady, man. It was like, all right, I don't have the foreigner, but I don't have money also now. So now I don't know what I'm going to do, So that's how a lot of people are. But I don't particularly, let me tell you something. I'm not going to get into the hotel right now and talk about the hotel. But what I will say is that, and my buddy has confirmed this, it's not just me, being a little difficult. The staff here are a little, what's the word, apathetic. They just don't give a shit. You come in and they're sitting there on their phone and it's like, you got to go, hey, excuse me. Like time after time after, it's like they're in zombie land. And I don't like that. I'm sorry, but like, if you got some, listen with your ears. You see a customer coming in, hey, at least treat him good because, guess what? That customer might not come back. And I don't know if I will. Just because I don't really like, they haven't been nasty. The only thing that might save them is that the latest girl who's been working has been very smiley and very friendly. But she was pretty young. Maybe that's why she's still in the goofy stage. Like, woo, I got a job. Hey, oh, hello, foreigner. I don't know. But all in all, both Scott and I were like, there are other places to go. Yeah, I know about Flipper. I know about him. I remember him. I just have to kind of. It's been a long time, and I don't know how often I'm gonna be here. I'm not planning on coming all the time. This is not like my new hangout. There are plenty of places I can go in Bangkok, or outside of Bangkok, or outside, a couple of hours, even a day's train trip or bus ride or whatever away. So, there are places that I can go besides Pattaya, and I'm not gonna hang out in the bars, So hang on a second. I'm not gonna hang out in the bars. The plan was to go to Tree Town, Soi Bukkao, and to hang out, have a couple of beers, and to see if I could stream a little bit from there. So just for you guys. But as you can see, there's a lot of water down there, and it's, now it's 5 to 10. So by the time, I got down there and, or we got down there, because we were both going to go, By the time we got down there, you know, got settled, then it's like we have a drink, and it's like, okay, it's time to leave. And that's what sucks about the curfew. If there wasn't a curfew, we'd be there right now. Because I haven't had a beer since I've been here. You know, I wanted one beer. I just wanted a Guinness. So now I don't know if I'm going to have that beer. Maybe tomorrow. Anyway. Anyway, talking about this guy, you know, he was dreaming. He's like, oh, well, then I guess by New Year. I go, listen, buddy, this place is shot. It's shot for the rest of the year. At least especially for Americans. And, you know, it's not the same when you got to wear a mask. You know, you got to put one of these things on and you're like, oh, hello, how are you? Oh, you sexy girl. I mean, I can see guys doing that. This thing looks like a bra. So this place is not, it's going to take a while for it to come back. And I think that, sorry, what, this? There you go. It's going to take a while to come back, and I think that, I just look over to the left, and there's 2 boxes of condoms there. They couldn't even put in Trojans. Put in some other brand, Thai brand, which that's not going to cut it. It's still raining a little bit. But, you know, I don't know how much, I mean, you know, imagine if they say they're supposed to be opening up schools and bars either on the 1st of July, maybe a little after, maybe a little before. Sporting events and stuff like that. They're supposed to start opening things up like that, the 4th or the final phase, or the 5th phase? It's the final phase is what they're calling it. Whatever it is. I can't keep up with this shit. So if they start opening everything up, then, you know, okay, it'll get more normal. But then when you come in from outside, even somebody else told me, a couple other guys told me, who's going to come in here to be a tourist? You take a 1-month trip to Thailand, and then 2 weeks out of that, you got to spend in quarantine. And then what happens if you have to go back home and you got to be in quarantine there for 2 weeks? So, you know, thank you, CCP. Every time I think about that, it pisses me off. But, you know, I've had a couple, you know, we've had a couple good times. We've hung out with a couple people here. It's been nice. And, you know, everything that I've done here pretty much, except for go to the beach, I can do back in Bangkok. So, 1 bourbon, 1 scotch, 1 beer. Yeah, actually, there's like a staff of 10, 12. And then you ask them, they're all like sitting around giggling or something over some stupid little soap opera or cartoon. And then you ask them for help, and they're like, I like car. Like you're doing them, you know, a big disservice by being their customer. Anyway, you can see everything's pretty much shut down. You know, I think they got the 7-Elevens open, and I don't know what time it closes, if it does. 7's open. Yeah. Still rainy. Lovely. Any questions, comments, thoughts, emotions? I'm still going to try to get back this year. Well, I think it's, great. Try to come back this year because you're staying longer. Have several drinks. I could always go steal some vodka from Scott next door because he's got vodka. But what am I gonna do? I'm gonna sit in my hotel room and down vodka. It's not my speed, man. Now, if it's shots of tequila, I might do it. No, he's not a moderator. He is a member of the channel, and because he's a member of the channel in the silver the silver level, he's got that. Well, thank you very much, John Doe V. Goal. He shoots, he scores. Yeah, they got this thing with YouTube now, so you get the levels. There's $3.99, $9.99. You can put whatever else, but they give you certain things. They give you little badges and all kinds of other stuff, which I guess it's important, or some people like to see it, But when I get back, I'm gonna try to set it up to where I can do some things with the Restream and some other. I'm looking at other software. There's other things I'm trying to do, and I want to go do some streams alone. Completely alone or with my family where I can be alone a couple of days. Because, to be honest, it's a bit overwhelming for me. I mean, listen, yesterday we had this meetup. Yeah, thank you, Soy Duck Cowboy. Listen, I gotta say, look at this. Look at my beard. It's all white over here now. Completely white. Needs to be. I was hoping to get a trim and a haircut today, but I didn't have time, and a foot massage. Instead, I just got a foot spa and which includes the pedicure. So maybe tomorrow morning that's what I'm gonna do. I don't know. I don't really want to go running around getting all sweaty and stinky and When I got my husband, I put down my usual hair color. She changed it to gray. Oh, what a bitch. Oh, God, that's funny. Well, I was talking to I think it was one of the waitresses today in Robin, what is it called? Robin's Nest. And I said, oh, we were talking, all of us were talking and whatever, and she said something, and I said, oh, really, so, you look very young. She said, no, I'm very, very old. I said, how old? I go, you can't be that old. And she goes, I'm 28. And I just went, oh. I wanted to go, you bitch. 28 and you're old? So, it all happens. I'm getting over it, But what I just say, yeah, I want to go somewhere. Sorry, I want to go somewhere alone. Why would I do that? I don't want to meet up with anybody that I don't know. I don't know I don't even know who you're talking about. Everybody that I met and hung out with yesterday, I knew them. Well, one guy, his buddy came along. I didn't know him. Now I know him. There was an Aussie guy who happened to be in Bangkok that I know, or happened to be here from Bangkok that I know. I see him in the grocery store, and I also always see him and talk to him in Starbucks. My kids have talked to him, and he was here. I was like, what are you doing here? So between him and then there was like 9 other people and myself, it was hard to talk to everybody. You know, I felt like I needed to talk to certain people because, you know, and it was very difficult to talk. And you know, the next thing you know, everybody's just talking and you over everybody and trying to get their points in, and you know, it was great. It was good, but like I'm not used to it because you know me and it's like one or two people. That's it. Um, it's not so much the flow. It's like you're talking to one person and you switch over and talk to somebody else, and then before you knew it, we're all spread out because of the virus. You're not allowed to sit next to each other, so we got big gaps between us. So it's like if you're talking to one person over here, and then you got to look over here and say, you know what I mean? Hey, yeah, remember that you hear somebody say something, you got to go, oh, and then you're back and forth, you know, and then, I mean, you know, it was all right, but it's a little with the social distancing. It makes it a little more of a pain. So I want to go and do something like you know some kind of stream and shoot some videos or whatever by myself somewhere where I'm in peace because I really haven't been in peace here. I didn't get away that much. I got away from some of the news and politics, although I keep getting messages from people. Look at this, look at that. I need to disconnect from the phone once again, from the internet. Anyway, I don't want to bitch. Could be a lot worse, you know. I'm here having fun. Finally unfollowed everyone on Facebook. Just following groups now. Yeah, you know what? I mean, I haven't been posting. If you look at my Instagram, I haven't really been posting many photos. Look at my Facebook, I haven't really been posting many photos. Twitter, I've been retweeting a few things, and quite frankly, you know, not to sound flippant, but I don't really care about social media, and I know I should. And I want to hear about politics. I don't want to hear about, you know, illegal searches by the police, and you know, lawyer calls police and catches them in an illegal activity, and you know, and it's like the guy wasn't even a lawyer; he was full of shit, you know, that kind of thing. Or you know, police get stopped in his track by comments from people in the car or something, you know, whatever it is. I don't need to see all that shit. To me, it's toxic. It's not good. I mean, I've been here and like, listen, like I said, this isn't my favorite place in the world, but it certainly ain't my least favorite place. Um, but there's some good things about this place, you know. I mean, you can get a lot of things done, you know, medically if you want to. You can get, there's a lot of inexpensive things that, you know, you could get here that will cost you much more in Bangkok, or a little bit more in Bangkok. Yeah, I don't want to. I mean, I will talk about it, but like right now, it's kind of like, okay, there's the right, who, you know, whether right or wrong, they're trying to push their agenda. Most of the time, I view them as at least sane. Then there's the left, like, let's defund the police, and I just view that and I go, man, this is ridiculous. How can you reason with insanity? You know, and so it's one thing if you're in the middle or a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. Okay, I can understand that. So I just don't want to, I don't want to let it consume me, you know, and there are times when I'm like getting message after message after message after message after message, and I'm going, what the you know. No wonder some of the people are flipping out. I mean, if I was in university or something and had, you know, 50 friends, 100 friends that were in constant contact with me, and they all wanted to push their political beliefs on me. It would drive me berserk. Should close this window. Oh, yeah. Air conditioning's on. Knackered, man. Been all over this place today. Lots of walking. You know, but I do like the whole early morning thing where people are walking along the beach, walking on the boardwalk, on the sidewalk. People are doing things, you know, and as dead as it may seem, especially at night, in the morning, over by the water, you know, there's some activity going on. So I know there's a lot of people dying to get back over here. But what are you going to do if the bars don't really open up and they're not the same as they used to be? And there's only, you know, 25 bars for all the people here. And you're coming here to, you know, get drunk and get laid. Yeah, I mean, at the beginning, I didn't feel bad for them. I was like, hey, you know, this is, everybody's in the same, it's a job. Everybody's in the same position. But now, I mean, they're back on the farm. And, you know, for some of them, this is their dream, you know. I mean, to come over here and maybe find the guy who's going to help them, or, you know, to be able to make enough money to be able to take care of their family. And, you know, their family, when they go home, their family is like so proud of them. Maybe they're lying about what they're doing for work. I mean, I don't know. Must be 50 banned. I don't think so, pal. Are you stuck inside because of the curfew? Well, the curfew happens in 50 minutes. And it's raining and thundering and lightning. And I don't feel like going somewhere, sitting down, and then, you know, 15, 20 minutes later, getting up and having to find my way back. And, you know, I just don't want to deal with it. When you got, now it's 45 minutes. I had an hour and a half, and we asked a Songtao. We were going to get into a Songtao, and the guy's like 200 baht, and it shouldn't cost more than like 20 baht. Same problems happening across the UK now because the left and right, huge protests and trouble now, crazy times. Yeah, I don't understand how these people get. I don't understand, is it the younger generation and then some of the older generation joining in with them? I don't know, but let me tell you, I wasn't raised the way that some of these people were. And, you know, tending their buffaloes. Lots of people don't comment because they enjoy watching and listening. No delivery. Delivery service for what? I'm not having anything that's not well, I was gonna say edible. No women are gonna be delivered here to me. I don't do that. Not gonna happen. You know, and what's so funny is I've talked to yeah, exactly. I got hands, and they don't talk back to me, and they don't ask me. Well, they ask me for money, but they're reasonable. Yeah, they're reasonable. A little lotion, and they may become supple. Right now, you know, I've got a headache. I've got a headache, honey. Sorry. There'll be no hand action tonight. Why? What do I need it for? I can just wait until tomorrow, you know? Yeah, I mean, everything is... Well, lots of lightning. People have told me, oh, they're really strict here about the curfew. And I've seen at 5-10 minutes before 11 yesterday, I saw the little cop pickup trucks going back and forth up and down the street with the red lights on. They were looking for people. You know, they were looking to make sure that there weren't any groups of people out. Um, so that's the last thing I want, is have to worry about getting arrested or thrown, just even to have to be fined because I'm out late. I don't have to worry about that shit. But, you know, it puts a damper on, you know. The thing is, this guy that wrote me this morning is like, how come there's people there if you say that it's not going to be back in a couple of weeks, that it's not going to be back to normal? Well, first of all, there's expats who live here. Second of all, there are long-term tourists who maybe have for some reason have a 6-month visa or something like that, or they've got 3 months and now they're extending automatically. You know, there's any number of reasons. But that doesn't mean that everything's going to be back to normal in a couple of weeks. So I wouldn't count on that. How about a day trip to Koh Lan? Well, it would be nice to go, but if it's raining, what's the point? And I know it's a beautiful place. I've heard that from many people, and I do want to go. And we may go. It depends on what kind of day it is tomorrow. But, you know. Now that things are opened up, I can go there, you know. I could go there, spend one night here, go there, come back, you know, 2-3 days, just like today. I can do it all the time. So there's all kinds of things I can do. Well, what is this? Let me see this. Mr. Mitch. How you doing, Mr. Mitch? What is this? Lots of people don't comment because they enjoy watching and listening. Probable, but doubtful. Well, then you don't need to comment. Because we know why you're here. Illuminati. See you later, pal. There's one guy that's been consistently in the chat with his passive-aggressive bullshit in the last, like, 2 weeks. Under different names constantly. One guy. He likes to keep coming back. He wants the attention. Anyway, I'm in this shitty little room, and it's not that bad, but it ain't all that great. I can tell you that. It's a bit worn. 850 baht. I don't think Thailand really cares if they can afford it or not, honestly. If they're tour groups, they may get everything taken care of before they leave, and Thailand may accept that. At least with China. I don't know about India. You know, listen, we were having dinner in this restaurant today. Scott and I were having dinner in this restaurant. We're picking away at our food, and a group of about 10 Indians, you know, an Indian family, large Indian family, just came in, you know, and we're like, wow, you know, there's like 10 of them, large family. But, you know, like grandmother, grandfather, kids, you know, mother, father, everybody. So there still are some Indians here, and I don't know, you know, if they're going to let them come in straight away, but I would suspect they have to do a quarantine, especially from India. In China, maybe they can get away with it because of a tour group and because of the Chinese government and stuff. I don't know, you know. Once they open up, we'll know. You know. Bet the hotel is glad of the business right now. I'll be honest, I don't think they give two shits. That's how I feel. Uh, and that's how my buddy feels. It's not just me going, oh, this place. No, I've stayed here a couple of times now, and I've stayed at various other places here. Some the same as this, some much nicer, and it's not that they're bad. They're not being bad to us or anything. They're just not being real friendly, and they just a little bit like, huh, hello, like that kind of, not like the usual polite Thai, but I just chalk it up to maybe they're under some stress. They're worrying about their job, but you would think that they would be happy to have the customers, because I asked the maid today or yesterday when we first checked in. I asked the maid, is this place full? And she laughed. And I said, are there any people here? And she says, there are people here, but not very many. So, and when you have around 100 hotels going into foreclosure on Koh Samui, what does that tell you? So I think that some of these places really need to consider how they treat people, and they should be. And one of the things that pissed me off and pissed my buddy off, and it pissed me off the last time, is that when I called on the phone the last time, I got a price from them. When I got here, that price was 50 baht more. The same thing happened today. He got one price the last time. Now they're charging more, and he said, no, the last time you give it, no, sorry. So, they're fiddling with the prices, and, oh, we give discount for you, and, okay, if you give me a discount and then a month later I come back, if there hasn't been an overall change in the prices, which there hasn't been, you'd think you'd give me the same price, and it's not much money, so I don't really care, but it is the principle. And then when they get a little bit snippy and they're a little short with you, and I was sitting there going, I didn't want to say anything. I was just standing there, waiting to get my key from the lady, and she's just sitting there, and she saw me, and then I was like, I need my key, Oh, I was like, what do you think I'm standing there for? I'm right at the key drop. I'm at the key drop waiting for my key. I'm like, I told her my room number. Oh. I don't know. But, there are plenty of places to stay. I don't know if I'll stay here again. Maybe. But just depends on what's available. Yeah, in the beginning I thought, well, this is life, this is how business operates and stuff, but I think this is pretty much like a once in a lifetime occurrence. And as I said this morning, you think, just when you think it's over, something else might happen, which is kind of what happened in the United States. But here, they're talking about they're not going to let people come in without the quarantine, without the insurance, without everything, unless there's a vaccine. No vaccine, no entry. Otherwise, pay big money. So what kind of tourists? Look at all the before. Look at The Beach, the movie The Beach. Now, I know that was only a movie and it was from a book, but, there's a lot of people who used to go to Khao San, and they'd have $1,000. They'd have their ticket and $1,000, and they'd try to stretch that $1,000 for 2 months, and they could do it, even 3 months sometimes. I remember going to the Jolly Frog was it a guest house in Kanchanaburi, and there were girls working there from Israel, and they were asking me about how to get the van to go to the border so they could do a border run and how much would it cost. I started telling them it would have cost them like 2,000 baht. And they would have had a visa that was good for another 2 months and then another month. And they were complaining about how much money it was. And I was like, what do you want? You want it for free? I mean, what do you want? You want it for $14 that you're going to be able to take a van all the way over there, have them wait for you, stamp in, stamp out, do everything, and it's hours away. It's never going to happen. What is this? When tourism is back in true form, there's not going to be a quarantine, or you won't have a tourism industry. Well, that's what I'm worried about. There won't be a tourism industry very much longer. I'm afraid this economic downturn is only the beginning. Yes. Worldwide, I feel it will get worse. And what I was thinking is it may come down to only the wealthy are going to be able to travel, or middle class who have enough money to be able to say, I'm going to be able to buy this special insurance. I'm going to be able to pay more money for the hotel rooms because the prices are going up. I'm going to pay more for the flights because if the tourism doesn't come back, the flight prices are probably going to go up. And I think overall, then that's not really a tourist industry. That's kind of a like, well, you can only travel if you've got plenty of money. Now you can anybody can travel. You don't have to have a lot of money. I mean, how many people have, when you were young, had an airline ticket to go back home from somewhere, and you had, enough to get on the bus to go somewhere, or to get home, or to have, or you had your parents picking you up or something. You had enough to go to McDonald's or something. That happened to me many times when I was younger. I just have my ticket and I have just $20 of cash or something, So how many people are going to be able to just jet right in here? I don't think it's going to happen very easily. I don't think people want to stay. There are some people in this chat who stay for 6 months, 4 months, 8 months. Those people will probably do it because over the course of time, it breaks down to they might be able to save that money every month in a different, from some other category. But for some young guy, like doing a gap year or something like that, or, just out of college and wants to take a month off, maybe if, mom and dad pay for it, they can do it, but, it's not going to be, easy. So, anyway, let's see here. The Thailand curfew is due to the political unrest, possible student demonstration, not the copy. CC plate. What? Dude, what are you talking about? The curfew's been on, and it hasn't had anything to do with the political unrest. They've had this curfew and this emergency decree for how long now? 2 months? 2.5 months? That's complete bullshit, okay? Please, don't come on here and give me that bullshit. I don't know where you get your information, but maybe you're the guy I just banned. I don't know. Still smells clean. Anyway, I figure I'm going to stream for an hour, so I got about 10 minutes left. Otherwise, or maybe even less than that. Pierre, what's happening? They gave us those Jello shots, man, and they're like, they've been making me burp. You're working in Bushwick, Brooklyn. I can't even look at the news now. I mean, honestly, earlier today, I was like, oh, let me see, messages and this and that. I was looking, and then I hit Fox, and I hit CNN. And I was like, why am I opening these? And then I saw something. Then I was like, oh, let me go to Twitter. I went on Twitter and I saw, some students and, other rioters marching. And I was like, what the? And, and then it's the cops. And I guess somebody lit a cop on fire. And, it's just, I don't know where these people are getting their brains from. Yeah, I had one Jello shot. Oh wow, biscuits baking in the oven. Wow. Supervising. Yeah, it's been ridiculous. 12 paramedic. Wow, that's crazy, man. You know what I miss is the Pillsbury Doughboy. What do they call those things? The biscuits. What do they call those biscuits? The pop-up thingies, where you had the little tube and you could pop it and then you open it up and you put the stuff on a thing. I'd like to cook some of those, but I can't find the damn things. Maybe if I go to Villa Market, I'll be able to find them, but I don't know. It's a long shot. Kind of like Cocoa Pebbles, which Nikki no longer really eats now. Protesters sleep late. Yeah. Man. Tell Jono to make some from scratch. Hey, the pasta that we had tonight, made from scratch. Very, very good. What's the name of the place? That's the name of the joint. Grottino Ostiero Pizzeria, Little Italy Restaurant. Very good. Those the biscuits that I'm talking about are just biscuits. You put a little butter on those bad boys. Just maybe a touch of some dark gravy, but the butter. And they're not too hot. You don't get them right out of the oven. You let them cool down just a little bit. When they're nice and warm, they're the best. I miss those. I do miss those. I do miss conch fritters. I do miss dolphin. Yes, Pillsbury. I do miss key lime pie, and I do miss, what was the other one? What's key lime pie, conch fritters, mahi mahi, which is dolphin. Yeah. What the hell was the other one? Conch fritters is the big one. I really like those. I eat them bad boys. If you sit at the bar and have a nice cold beer right over the ocean. When I was a kid, younger, like 17, 16 years old, my family and I would go out on a boat with friends and stuff. We'd come on, we'd go onto this little place. There'd be a little tiki bar, and they'd have beer and these conch fritters and a lot of things, onion rings and stuff. But the conch fritters, and I would sit there. I would be allowed like one beer. I'd have one beer and sip it so I could enjoy it, and I'd have the conch fritters. And that stuck with me over all these years. So much anarchy in the West now, people not happy with their governments, but no one blaming the real culprits of this built-up frustration. China, not one protest against them. Very strange. Yeah, well, this is the thing. Honestly, I think that the majority of the people who are protesting violently, the ones violently, I'm not talking about the protesters who just go out there and they just, they want to facilitate a change, and maybe they understand. We just want less police violence. We want people taking a closer look so that our police don't get too far they don't get out of hand any more than they already have, maybe with violence and that sort of thing. Okay, I can understand those people. I got it. The ones that are screaming and yelling and saying, you have to believe Black Lives Matter and this kind of stuff, and they're lighting things on fire and burning police cars and stuff like this. I think they're freaking idiots, and I think they belong in jail. It's what really burns me up is I'm sitting over here and I'm watching all this, and you know, it's like Nancy Pelosi, she don't give a shit about American people. All she cares about is, can I get my party to win and oust Trump? She don't care about the people. Those people don't care about anybody. And yet these people are going marching around, stomping around. Idiots. They're idiots. Yeah, and there could be a big spike in the COVID, which, you know, okay, these people are young, but still some of them will die. And then it's like, oh, you see, if the cops weren't violent and they didn't kill this guy, I wouldn't have went out and protested, and then I wouldn't have caught the COVID and I wouldn't have died. Well, wait a minute. Maybe if the guy didn't try passing a counterfeit bill, they wouldn't have called the police. I mean, so you can use the same logic. And you see, I can't get away from it. I come here, I stream, and I still, you know, it's my country, you know, still is. Even over here. Even if I am an American in Pattaya or an American in Bangkok, it is still my country. It's where I hail from. I'll always be American. So, you know, when I see this kind of stuff, I'm past the point of saying, what's going on with these people, man? What are they thinking? Defund all the police? You want to spend some money on something, you want to take, you know, whatever it costs to do some kind of a study to see what's going on and who has the highest incidence of violence in what police force around the country or something. Okay, I can understand that. But to do away with the police? Are you kidding me? I too love conch fritters and conch salad. Oh yeah, that's the bomb. Conch salad. They just swallow. What is this? They just swallow what the media feeds to them. Naive kids at the most. Crazy ideas floating around. He held a pregnant. Yeah. Well, okay. I will say yes. He did some things bad in the past. He paid his dues, and he had been. Supposedly had not committed any crimes in a while. So you can't, although it's easy to hold those things against him and you can look at him and go, hey, this wasn't a good guy. It's about what he did on that day. Now, I still don't know all the facts because guess what? They're not going to tell you everything right away. It's going to come out slowly. But he's on fentanyl, which I can't see wanting to get violent when I'm on fentanyl. Meth, that's a different story. You know, the other thing is they did say he was resisting, but he had his hands behind his back. They had 4 people. Please, don't insult my intelligence. The guy put his knee on his neck. What, you know, I mean, he held it there even after he was dead. Say what you will, and you know, the same thing, say what you will about him going and passing a counterfeit bill. Say what you will about the guy putting his knee on his neck. The bottom line is the guy's dead. That doesn't make it a racial issue, though. And that's where part of it starts to fragment. It's not a racial issue. I don't believe, unless it comes out, they've come out with some kind of, and the police have been arrested, and now they go and follow the procedures and the laws of our country. And that's what they should be letting happen. Now, and you have all these people that they believe what they want to believe, they see what they want to see, you know, and, you know, the Antifa thing, that's just, I hope they throw the book at him, you know? Yeah, I hope they throw the book at them. But anyway, you know, like I said, I really didn't want to talk about this because while Pattaya is not my favorite place, it is a nice place, and I can see why some people want to live here. One of the things that bothers me a little bit is, in Thailand, I go to a place and the people seem to think that maybe there's a chance when I walk in that maybe I they'll give me the chance to speak a little bit of Thai so that they're not like 120, okay, you and I just go, here it's like I walk in and it's like even my buddy who doesn't speak great Thai, he speaks okay Thai. He said like phone tok, and the guy was like, "Oh, you speak Thai so well." And he was like, "No, I don't. Whatever." But just little things like that. Little things like me thinking about if the bar's opening up again and hello, handsome man. Come on, don't lie to me, honey. Don't lie. You know. It's got its own vibe to it. I'm sure it grows on you like a healthy fungus, like a mushroom. It's got its own vibe in it. It takes time to get into the whole rhythm of it, but I'm not going to be here that long, and I'm not going to come that often to where I really care. But what's going on now, I can only imagine if it lasts for a few more months. This place is, it may end up being a ghost town. I'm looking around like everything's going off now. Did you say what you order at the Italian restaurant? Did I say? No, I didn't say. Why? Do you want to know? Farnham had fettuccine with salmon and a cream sauce. And he had a tiramisu with strawberries for dessert, with a like an orange liqueur Jello shot. I had the same Jello shot. And then I had what did I have? I had pasta penne with gorgonzola. Fortunately, they didn't put a whole lot of gorgonzola on it because it's pretty heavy. And I also had the little tiramisu, and that was awesome. And the orange Jello shot. That was all right. And we had all of us, I think, had a breakfast burrito when we were watching the UFC. After I streamed, I went over, watched the UFC. Which I know, Soy Dog Cowboy, you love it and everything, and there were some good knockouts. Cody Garbrandt, and the other one you talked about, I forget his name. But all in all, it wasn't a fantastic card. It was a solid card. I'll put it that way. Yeah, we thought about getting some wine, and I was like, I don't know. I'm not in the mood for it. I just don't feel like having it. And then we were walking back. All right, so let's go over to, once it was raining, we're like, okay, let's try to go there. The curfew ruins everything. Really. That curfew is not good. And I don't know if it really helps all that much. I guess it probably does. Knowing how Thais like to party and knowing how people here in Pattaya like to party, all right, but we're not talking about just Pattaya. Talking about a lot of other places, so I don't know. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. Boy. All right, well, how did the news went? It was a master. Thank you very much, Mitch. It was a very good performance by Nunez. Spencer kind of got beat up. She had a scant few moments where she hit Nunez, but not really anything serious. And it was kind of like she was there to survive. not to win that. She wasn't coming in aggressively to knock out Nunes. She was kind of like trying to keep her off so she didn't get hit and then move. Oh, you're not going to hit me. You're not going to hit me. Oh, boom, I hit you with one shot. And Nunes would hit her. And both of the girls' eyes were black and blue here. She had shiners on both eyes. And she got nailed pretty good. I mean, she took a little bit of a beating. But, you know, I kind of expected that to happen. Nunes is she's a special fighter, you know. We got a little rooftop action going on over there. The guy just walked in. 11 centigrades and drizzle in Seattle today. I think it's 88 here, Fahrenheit. Oy. All right, well, listen, I better get to sleep. And maybe I'll stream tomorrow. Maybe I won't. I don't know. Don't know what's up. Depends on what time we get going. Depends on if we want to go over there to Koh Lan. Depends on the weather, you know. And we do have somebody waiting here to take us back to to Bangkok. And I got to kind of see if she if she wants to stay another day or something like that. Makes it very easy just to have somebody on call. Feels like 92 at 10:44 a.m. Man. Have the protests slowed there in Dallas, Longhorns? Ah. Oh, Gula, man. Ah. Yes, you can. The Mercure. You see the guy standing right there on straight ahead. Outside on the roof, he's on the phone, I think. Oh, I don't want to get too close here. Yeah, see, it's no rain right now. Wow, do you see that? That was a copper. Flashing red lights, baby. Copper. They're out. What time is it? 10:45, so. Anyway, I think this stream has run its course once again. I'm tired. I got bags under my eyes. I look a lot older than I really am. Well, I look my age with bags under my eyes. I'm getting old, man. I am old. So anyway, thank you very much for joining. Thank you for participating in the conversation. Really appreciate it. It's always nice. Keeps me busy a little bit, you know, and gives me something constructive to do. You know, it keeps me entertained too. Good, your biscuits are done. Well, have one for me, you bastard. I want one of them biscuits. I'm gonna go to Villa Market tomorrow and see if they have any. And if they do, I'm gonna try to get some. I could get them in Bangkok, but again, if I'm going out, then maybe I can hit a Villa Market. If I'm not in the area, then it's, you know, you're talking about an hour away. So Bangkok is big, you know. I did see some vitamin D today, and guess what? I didn't buy any. Anyway, all right, listen, I got to go. So I'll talk to you guys later. See you when I see you. And until next time, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Pattaya. Choke D, that jerk and my. See you guys. See ya, see ya, see ya, see ya, see ya, see ya, see ya.